Hello, I am Brian Foster, and today we're going to talk about work and evolution. A spirit tells us that we must strive to improve ourselves. Work is the norm in the spirit world, and therefore we must be prepared to embark upon an eternal life of service for others. Not that there isn't time for our own amusement and personal growth, but as you evolve higher in the spirit world, the more responsibilities you have to help and assist others. But before I begin, please subscribe, hit the bell and the like buttons. Now, let us begin. At the end of the day, we all know there is no giving up. There is no abandoning ship. No disappearing from our responsibilities. Emmanuel, the spirit guide to Francisco Chico Xavier, tells us that we need to work in order to evolve. Without growth and change, we stagnate. On every occasion that we feel compelled to desert from serving, alleging failures and imperfections, it is convenient to observe the logical lessons from nature, which finds in work its own path to evolution and improvement. If the seed gave up its germination because of its confinement in the cloister of clay, it would not produce the fruit that feeds the human being. After all, the attention it receives from the fruit grower is in direct proportion to how much it produces. If the rose bush decided to prevent its own flowers from blooming because of the thorns transfixed along its stems, it would not produce the roses that embellish the world so much. Again, it gathers only as much care from the gardener as it produces its flowers. If the spring denied the soil its beneficence, on the grounds that it would have to run through mud and stones on the riverbed, if the metal decided to betray its own utility in supporting the boiling crucible, if the animal persisted indefinitely in its refusal to be tamed, alleging the extreme aggressiveness still persistent in its behavior, and on it goes, all of us, incarnate and discarnate spirits alike, in evolution here on earth, are at the moment far from the angelical condition, much in the same way that other elements in nature are still infinitely distant from the human condition. Indubitably, due to our ability to reason, we have a duty to improve ourselves on a constant basis, but it will not be illicit for us to allege defects and incipience in order to flee from collaborating in the construction of goodness for the benefit of all, since we are observed and appraised toward the superior life by the extent we seize the opportunities to assist in our lives. Therefore, in our work, let us love the dispellant of all shadows that are still attached to us in the domains of the soul. Let us be convinced that in all districts of the universe, perfection is the final aim for all creatures and all things. Nevertheless, for the adequate execution of such perfection, work is an inexorable process. Hence, whatever smooth or rocky path has been selected for you in your career, it is the road which leads you to your perfection by the most optimal route. While this concept may seem fantastical to many, it is the plan. You may shake your head in desperation or amusement at the twists and turns you have lived through thus far, but more importantly is for you to never give up and use each hurdle as a platform instead of an obstacle to advance your quest to become a pure spirit. If you are interested in learning more about Spiritism, please read my book, Spiritism, Everything is Connected. Spiritism ties everything together. It reveals our purpose, our beginnings, our end goal, and the scope of the organization behind it all. Spiritism tells us there are no miracles, only phenomena that we don't yet understand. That miraculous healing, vision of spirits, near-death experiences, and glimpses of the future are all entirely possible given our place in the spirit realm. The spirit realm is dedicated to bring vital messages to us. not via organized religion, which had the tendency to withhold knowledge for their own gain, but to each individual so he or she could determine what path in life they would follow. We must each determine for ourselves whether we continue on to be mere consumers or to learn to balance our spiritual and material needs, so someday we may ascend up and out of the sphere of continual incarnations in a harsh learning environment to become a pure spirit and a contributor to the spirit universe. God bless.